Welcome to Kidswear Therapy podcast, brought to you by Pirouette Media. If you enjoy listening, please remember to follow, like, or even review us wherever it is you listen. Kidswear Therapy is a safe space to discuss the ups and the downs, the positives and the irritations of the kidswear industry. So join Linda and myself and our wonderful guests on Kidswear Therapy.
Hi there, Katie.
Hi Linda, how are you?
Oh, I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. We obviously are here to do our very quick micropod on Trump's tariffs and the de minimis exemption. So in the last pod, we had kind of put a bit of a call out, hadn't we, to some brands and people to let us know how everything is going with everything. So we've had some conversations, haven't we, Linda?
Yeah, we have. And in the meantime, a few more things have popped up on Instagram, people stopping supplying the States and various other things. So, yeah, it's a tricky time for everyone.
The feedback is obviously the ones that are manufacturing in China, which happened. A lot more independents went to China after COVID because of the cost of everything. So then Trump's tariffs have really affected these independent brands. But so it seems that the way around this is that they're working with 3PLs, which are third party logistic companies. Therefore, it changes the origin of like where products are made. Needs must really at the moment to be able to navigate this. The
That's all
feedback is,
extra cost again, isn't it, as well?
yeah, again. I mean, it truly is a nightmare at the moment for everyone with everything that's going on. It seems that brands are getting like horrible surprises from. I mean, I had a chat with a brand, anonymous obviously, and they had like a big order, like they had a 20,000 euro order out to the States, sent it over, and they thought everything was okay, and suddenly they got like in from border control, like or I think it's border control, like whoever gathers all
Yeah,
their tariffs and
customs.
everything, customs, yeah, not borders control. My God. Right. Anyway, yeah, from customs, and for 21,000 euros.
Oh my God, more than the actual
Yeah,
order.
yeah. 21,000 euros for
That's
20,000
insane.
euros. Yeah, insane. So, but that's the problem is like it all got sorted out, after they probably had a terrible morning, feeling like sick and feeling like they were going to faint. They got it sorted out, so they didn't have to pay 21,000 euros. But the amount of time and the stress and the management of all this on top of your day-to-day business, I think it's frightening at the moment for everyone. I don't know how they're coping or staying sane.
Well,
um
in the UK, was it the Royal Mail has actually stopped deliveries until they can work it all out. I think you can't send deliveries to America. I mean, that might be sorted now, but they temporarily have paused.
Yeah, this is to do with the de minimis exemption being wiped away with Trump. Is that obviously, so before, I don't know what it was it 800 or something was the threshold, and now it's like down at $100 so that's like in the UK it's like about £74 or
Pounds,
something.
yeah.
So if you're thinking like if you're putting in an order, like online nowadays and something, it's very rarely that it comes under that, does it? Interesting enough, I was talking with a brand in Australia. They've stopped postage as well, but they're able to send out to the States with DHL. Still
Oh,
seems to be
oh, okay.
working. What is interesting is a lot of brands website runs on is Shopify. So I
Hmm.
think that there is some Shopify modules that are So they've obviously like been working really quickly to try and help, because this is a blooming nightmare, for Shopify as well,
Yeah.
for all their clients. So that can calculate the charges, because that's the thing, is you don't want to send out parcels and then your customer is suddenly getting a charge and then you're getting them returned, you
Yeah.
know
And
um
you've lost that customer probably forever as well.
so apparently 32 countries worldwide have suspended
Wow.
deliveries to the states currently. So I mean, this is so problematic. I mean, it's annoying. It must be annoying. Actually, the feedback also is that I think it's like 60% of voters now, when they're doing polls, are now against the tariffs.
Yeah.
When they first were coming in, they were like, they think he's such a great businessman because of that program. What was it? The Apprentice.
Well, because he keeps telling you he is.
Yeah,
Say it often enough.
yeah. But then there are also, at the moment, the Supreme Court have ruled that the tariffs are out with his powers, that it's illegal for him to. So at the moment, they are trying to overturn that decision. But if the decision stands, then they will have to pay back all of the duties that have been paid. So I mean, it's
I
crazy
mean,
stuff.
he is chaos.
Yeah,
He
it's
is
absolute
creating
chaos.
chaos
Yeah, it is.
because it's nobody knows where they stand. And as a business person, you want to be looking a year ahead, 2 years ahead, projecting. How the hell can you do that now?
Yeah, I think for brands as well, this everything is taking away from them even being able to consider growth. Like, what's
Yeah,
growth? What's
yeah.
growth? I mean, it's ridiculous concept at the moment, because all they're having to put out so many fires, because a lot of these design-led European brands that are real fashion brands
Mm.
rely on the Jewish buyers,
In America.
and yeah, sorry, the Jewish buyers in America, sorry. And the fact that it's so problematic for them to either have them as retailers or as an end consumer now as well.
Mm.
So it's,
Mm.
I don't know, guys, I'm feeling really.
It's such a shame because New York was one of the trade fairs that was still doing good, business.
Yeah.
America was buying and buying quite a lot, and in effect filling in for the lack of the Russians who were big
Mhm.
buyers, and the lack of with what's happened in Europe and so many little boutiques and things closing. You could go to America and that was filling in on those lost sales.
Yeah.
And now you've got a problem with America. It's like one hit after another.
Yeah, and that's what we were discussing before, like before we started the podcast, was about the hit on the brands. The brands can take the charge, they can take the hit on that.
Yeah.
But like, how long
Yeah.
can you keep taking the hit with everything? You're basically, with inflation, your garment cost is going up. I, the knock-on effect with all this is really, I don't know. I think we will see a lot of brands
Mm.
deciding, no, I'm
Had
done.
enough. Yeah.
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 Who can blame them?
Yeah. Yeah. No, I agree. I think it's so tough out there. So we're sorry for all you brands
Yeah,
out there.
we give you a
We feel
massive
your pain.
give you a massive Kidswear Therapy
Yeah.
hug, like a virtual hug, because we want to acknowledge how horrendous it is at the
Yeah.
moment for you
Yeah.
guys. I mean, to be honest, it's actually quite a good time to be like a really young brand that's just starting out, because you're
Just
coming.
selling in your own country.
Yeah, because you're coming into this with, like, you can just kind of deal with some of this stuff in an easy way. You've not got the huge investment, you've
Yeah.
not got all this, so actually in some ways, yeah, I'd rather be like the little guy starting out at the moment. So yeah, hopefully you brands, you have told me that you're working on everything, that you're finding ways, like, you're obviously using 3PLs, you're finding ways in Shopify, hopefully to help with the de minimis rule exemption going.
Maybe you have to be posting out for one order 100 little packages,
Yeah.
like 2 garments a package.
I don't know. Maybe I guess it's just trying to find different avenues, isn't it? Like trying to develop other markets as well. I mean, but the problem is that the American market, I mean, I was talking with a brand the other day, and how playtime New York, and it's still, even though it maybe was a little bit quieter on the Sunday or whatever, but
Yeah,
the brands were happy because
yeah,
because they write the orders then and there, and the way that the Americans do business, that this is, God, Trump, what are you doing, man? Like this, like you're the place where people go to make it, aren't they? That's the thing.
yeah.
America, go, you make it, and everybody's just so open to kind of business, and they get business done, and this is just, it's crippling everyone.
Sense, and they've gone into bankruptcy too. They've blamed it on tariffs because they're based in Canada and their warehousing is in Canada. And they've blamed it, they've said that the American sales dropped by something like 70% after the tariffs came in. And that was basically their biggest customers.
Well, it's just nonsensical, isn't it? It's like, what products are completely made in America? Like what
Mm.
businesses just completely manufacture in America? It just doesn't, none of this makes sense. I mean, and it's weird as well because, like, we've always paid duties.
Yeah,
That's why, why the agents and people, or people when there, or you're always advised really to give a landed price, aren't you, when you're
yeah.
selling wholesale to your retailers, um uh, and you take that into consideration because you always have to pay duties. But this is just absolute. One of the main feedbacks to me was that they don't have the systems in place. Like, it's just an absolute
Mm.
mess. It's the same way we were with Brexit. Remember, like, it was just, I mean, suddenly, like, what was it? They were like trying to draft everything, weren't they? Like to like 12 o'clock
They
or
had to
something.
keep postponing
Yeah,
it.
yeah, yeah. And like
Oh
and
no,
like
well, few more months. A few
but
more months.
that's the thing, is like, so there, nothing's in place, so like their systems, so obviously suddenly you get like, a duties bill for like
1,000,
21,000,
yeah.
but this is at the time is, I think it's just too much for brands to cope with, especially these middle, like the mid-sized brands, because they're not kind of, they just don't have the cash flow to like throw at this person to manage this or that,
Also, it's a double whammy, isn't it? Because you're at a
Mm.
time when the consumer doesn't have the money to
Yeah,
spare as well.
yeah,
So, it's like you're being punched on all sides, really.
yeah. So prescription: take 2 paracetamol and go to bed. Just
Oh,
stay out of it for a
I don't
while.
know, or Valium.
Valium, that's it.
Yeah.
For the headache. Oh,
Anyway,
right.
it's sorry not to be more positive, guys, but really, it's a mess.
Yeah, it's a mess, and it's like, it's not like we can it's so confusing, like I'm sitting there
Mm.
like trying to understand, well, which person is paying, is it the brand that's paying, or is it the retailer that's paying, at what point, you know y- it's just too confusing to deal with. I don't know. So anyway, we just want to extend our thoughts to everyone that's
Yeah,
having to deal with it at the
yeah.
moment. And I don't know if
A
you,
big Kidswear Therapy hug to you
yeah,
all.
big Kidswear Therapy, to talk about a subject that we know that you're all having to face at the moment. So yeah. So I guess maybe we should do something a bit lighter next week.
Yeah, that would be a great idea.
What can we talk
Have
about?
we got any guests to Have
Oh,
we got a
actually,
guest one coming up maybe?
well, yeah, we should. We've got a guest one coming up where we've got a model agent actually.
Yeah,
So talking about modeling, and kids modeling, obviously kids modeling. Um, so yeah, so we've got that coming up, which might be, and actually it is a bit lighter because I
yeah,
think I'm quite, my kids have modeled. Um, I think it's not for every kid for sure. Um, and yeah, tell you what, we should do one about the influencer, the kid influencer stuff. It's really, so I kind of really, I'm okay with kid modeling, right? Because I feel like if you're doing it properly, then
mm,
you're ticking all the boxes. You're making sure you've got permits. You're making sure the
yeah.
usage of everything. And I'm a big believer in all this stuff. But actually, the kid influencer stuff, there's some crazy documentaries out there, Linda, at the moment. There's one out, it was like about YouTube, and it was crazy. Like these kids are acting, they're kind of acting out like relationships, like they're going out with each other when they're like 12 years old, 11 years old, like whether they will kiss, and it's all manufactured from like a, a parent that was doing it but telling them what to do. I mean, some of the stuff is just,
Was this American?
yeah, it was American actually. But then I do think some of this stuff with the influencer stuff with the kids, but I do think we've got to be really careful in the future because it's not necessarily their choice. Like if you're sharing their life and you're sharing them waking up in beds and all this stuff, I'm not a fan of it. Even though, like, obviously I work in the kids fashion industry and all this kind of stuff, it's a very separate thing. I've never really shared real life stuff because our kids would kill me, I think. Anyway, another positive. I need to wrap this up in a nice way. I'm such a positive person today. Anyway, are you doing, I'm just going to
Blame it
leave.
on the September weather.
Yes, blame it on September weather. Are you up to anything this week or next week?
No, I'm just chilling in at the gym.
Oh, I've started the gym too. I'm going on
Ah,
a Tuesday and a Thursday, and maybe one day at the weekend.
yeah,
So yeah,
very good.
thank you. All right. Well, yeah. Keep
Okay,
keep positive, guys.
yeah, thinking of you all.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you for listening. If you've enjoyed our podcast and want to show some love, you can leave us a rating or review wherever it is you listen right now. Kidswear Therapy is a Pirouette Media production.